Housing is the foundation. It's your castle, it's your safe harbor, and without that, you can't have a happy, healthy, stable life. And so we see housing as a central issue and an existential issue for Oakland, actually. That we could have Oakland, it will survive, but it won't be the city that we all came here to live in and love.
I love Oakland. I love its diversity. I love its culture. And I feel like we're losing that so rapidly. Go to the courthouse where they have eviction court for Alameda County and just look up and down the hallways and you will see who is getting pushed out of Oakland. It's all black and brown faces, predominantly. I think it's tragic, really.
They started turning off utilities. Right, and this is in late January and February of the year. They started actually turning off so it would get cold in there. They locked me out. I went to my senior center for an hour and a half. I came back, the locks were changed. I had to call the police. They demolished it before my eyes. It was really painful.
We have very old housing stock in Oakland, so sometimes you will be surprised when people come in to see the conditions they're living in with like caved in ceilings and rats and cockroaches and mold blackened on the walls. But it's such a desperate housing market, like a lot of people have no choice but to take those types of situations because it's better than living under the underpass, right?
Unscrupulous landlords know that low-income tenants are particularly unlikely to enforce their rights. There's an incentive to flout the law. It makes business sense for them to flout the law. And so what we need to do is increase enforcement and help tenants access the legal services they need to enforce their rights.
We see housing as a central issue and an existential issue for Oakland, actually. That we could have Oakland, it will survive, but it won't be the city that we all came here to live in and love. So we co-sponsored with members of the council, the tenant protection ordinance, to allow us to enforce the tenants' rights. I don't know if it's radical, but I believe housing is a right. It should be a right. And for those tenants who are here, they should not be thrown out as a result of harassment by landlords.
會址呢就想暫停佢話我哋嗰啲咧窮鬼暫停唔到，就想掉咗我哋去，就搶過嚟住。咁就嗰時候我哋做對呢個環境下呢，做受呢啲苦啦。後來呢，我哋師傅同埋律師幫我哋呢，我哋唔係叫打官司，即係講呢，我想住唔逼遷我哋，俾翻我留翻我哋喺嗰度住個環境嘅。
We found it incredibly important to be able to work with the City Attorney's Office over the years. There's a real synergy that comes from that partnership. Centro Legal and other community-based organizations, we bring real trust with the community. We bring years of expertise and experience working with low-income and communities of color. When the city brings a lawsuit or is involved in a lawsuit, they have the unique role of representing the entire city, not just individual tenants. That's important because many of our tenants are scared. They don't want to openly confront their landlords, and the city can seek relief for those tenants as well. When the city files a lawsuit or is involved in the lawsuit, the community notices. It's really important to communicate to the media, to landlords, to tenants, that tenant rights will be enforced by the city and by their nonprofit partners.
Puedo yo decirle a toda esta gente que se armen de valor porque reclamar sus derechos, instituciones como Causa Justa, como Centro Legal de la Raza y gente buena también en la ciudad de Oakland que están dispuestos a ayudar.
The City Attorney's Office, Barbara Parker, and the Neighborhood Law Corps were just there for me. You can't fight these battles by yourself. That we have the power collectively.
The Oakland City Attorney's Office is committed to enforcing the right of Oakland tenants to safe, healthy, and dignified housing. To report harassment to the City Attorney's Office, please contact the Neighborhood Law Corps. For a range of housing services and referrals, please call or visit the City of Oakland Housing Resource Center. And for legal advice or representation, please contact a local nonprofit organization or private attorney.
You know, the fist is stronger than a finger, a single finger, right? We've got support here. This is Oakland.
Together, we can fight for housing justice in Oakland.